Hey guys, this is SamAttack4427 here with, well, another video for all of you guys, and yeah. Now, usually I think with these type of videos that I would make for sure, I will of course do something quite special for once, and pretty much giving out my experience on something that I've actually been to, and not to mention pretty much for this year I've been dabbling into, of course, a good number of videos that revolve around my past for sure, which is almost kind of my main goal for, of course, this year on my channel for sure. But yeah, got a good number that I thought I would share for sure, a good number of videos, and I'll be sure to double more on that some point around later this year. But for today's video right about now, we are going to be diving into something in my past for sure, but more on a dark side of things for sure. And I guess if you couldn't tell based on either the thumbnail or, of course, the title of this video, we're going to be diving into something that has happened to me and, of course, one of my friends well over a decade ago that, boy, I absolutely regret hands down for sure, and it's something I wish could have just been erased from existence altogether, but clearly it's been 10 years since this actually happened, and boy, I'm very concerned about making this video for sure, because yeah, this could be an awful idea for, of course, me making this. But seeing of how it has been well over 10 years since it happened, I guess I might as well go into it with the fair shot to see how it will go for sure. So yeah, and in case you don't want, in case a lot of you guys do not know for sure, this video right now is going to be diving into something that happened to me well over a decade ago that really left me in a bad place for sure, and has really took a toll on me mentally for sure around that time for sure. And that being, of course, pretty much the infamous YouTube war during the summer of 2012. So yeah, and I know a lot of you guys are already typing down in the comments going on like, the what? Yeah, but yeah, I think if anything, I guess if anything, for those who actually don't know, this is of course something that happened well over a decade ago, revolving around me and Trainboy54, hands down, and of course, I've been held off on it for some time because, yeah, it has pretty much took a toll on, of course, me mentally for sure, and did result some serious consequences for me online in general. But hey, I guess if anything for this video ramp, now I'm of course going to be diving into my perspective on, of course, what happened well over a decade ago for sure, and yeah, keep in mind, this is, of course, what has happened in my end for sure, and I'll definitely clear some things up some point around at the end of the video, so yeah, and of course, I do have my notes with me on my laptop right about now, just to get the clear picture on, of course, what's gone down for sure, so yeah, I guess if anything, well, I guess there's nothing much else I can say except, well, I guess you might as well sit back, relax, and allow me to tell you the whole story and, of course, explain what happened well over a decade ago. So yeah, let's go ahead and get right to it. So yeah, I guess for starters, it actually all began right around, yeah, well over 10 years ago exactly, pretty much on a Sunday night on July 8th for sure, where believe it or not, things have been going fine with me pretty much earlier in that day for sure, but that isn't until I've actually received a pretty much a message from, of course, a user that yeah, and before you ask, I think I probably won't say too much names for sure, but only some of the well-known ones that of course popped up in this, just to be clear, but yeah. right around Sunday night on July 8th, 10 years ago, I've actually received a message from, of course, a user that goes by the name of Universe Twisters, which, yeah, to which, from what I'm actually seeing, pretty much that user has pretty much two number threes, and of course that username, I guess I don't know why, but regardless, he actually sent me an email asking me for, of course, pretty much Trainboy54's Skype ID around the time for sure, because yeah, if I can go down a little further, yeah, I think pretty much from what I'm seeing, the reason why he wanted me to send that message is because well, believe it or not, I think pretty much he originally wanted his Skype ID for sure, because yeah, pretty much around that time, yeah, there are a good number of people that have, of course, been putting up rants and videos about my friend Trainboy54 around that time. So yeah. Yeah, needless to say, Universe Twisters wanted to ask me for, of course, Trainboy54's Skype ID around that time, since he actually stated that, of course, my name always comes up when, of course, I was mentioning, of course, his videos for sure as hell. So yeah, I assume that's probably the reason why he sent me that message asking me for Trainboy54's Skype ID for sure, and of course, and I guess if anything, pretty much if anything, I've completely overreacted, and I might have actually watched one of his videos around the time his channel is up around that time, and yeah. I did overreact, and I replied to that message where, of course, I said, and I'm quote, "I'm not gonna tell you, you smacked up YouTube failure," and yeah, I guess from what I'm actually hearing, that actually does sound harsh, and to be honest, looking back, it actually is for sure, and of course, what ended up happening next sometime afterwards, pretty much not just Universe Twisters, but also another user that is, of course, Weimu, pretty much that is, of course, involved around that time. Actually, yeah, I won't go into too much detail entirely, of course, this one, but what ended up happening next is, of course, they took to a Skype and actually tried to pretty much having a conversation with me, and from what I can recall, when I was online on Skype around that time, they actually put me into, of course, the chat log. They wanted me to be in just to talk to them, and of course, I tried to, of course, get out of it, but they just keep putting me back in every single time, and there was even one point where, of course, they actually did call me for sure, and I will admit, I did express my frustration to them, and yeah, pretty much, and of course, I demanded them to leave me alone, and of course, they were asking me why I'm much better than them and stuff, to which I did respond by saying it's because they don't have a fan base, to which, again, very harsh of me for saying that, and I know it's not true for me to say that out loud right about now, but yeah, I think it's not going into too much detail on, of course, what happened, and what ended up happening next is, of course, I got out of that chat, signed myself off on Skype, and of course, went off as usual. But that wasn't until, of course, the following day is that what ended up happening next is that Universe Twisters actually posted the Skype chat that, of course, I was, of course, suckered into, or, of course, I was trapped into, with, of course, him and Weimu around that time, right up onto YouTube, and I will admit, when I actually saw the video myself, I was appalled and even shocked to actually see that, and what ended up happening next is, of course, I pretty much demanded them to take the video down because, well, pretty much it was really, really appalling for me to watch, and I was disgusted by what I've actually seen, but they never did, and of course, well, to them, hilarity ensued for sure, and of course, sometime afterwards, I, of course, pretty much took it by force and actually took the video down myself, and I guess you can say, I think pretty much around that time, pretty much with not just that, but also, of course, a few other videos around that time that I was, of course, quote-unquote, false flagging, which, yeah, it is actually really quite terrible. And of course, let's not forget to mention also around that pretty much around that time, that is when the whole thing began for sure. Yeah, and what ended up happening next is, of course, pretty much of anything for the past few weeks throughout the month of July around that time is that we were being harassed and, of course, being bombarded with, of course, plenty of videos for sure. And there's even one instance where, of course, another person that I should mention right now, which is, of course, RJ Bansma around that time. Pretty much of anything, he was appalled by, of course, the quote-unquote false flagging that pretty much we've been doing for sure, to which I know for sure he did nothing to us entirely. All he did was, of course, post some rant videos around that time, to which, yeah, I guess if anything, that was, of course, a really stupid move to, of course, for me to take down those rant videos for sure, because, well, I'm sure he's just expressing his opinion for sure, and yeah, it has been going on for some, yeah, pretty much rant videos have been around since, I assume YouTube has been around for sure, but I digress right about now, and of course, it doesn't actually stop there. Oh, no, I think, also around that time, if I can look properly, yeah, believe it or not, I think, pretty much on the few people that I mentioned in this video, there's, of course, one other person that have, of course, is, of course, on their side, which is, of course, a Russian guy named Dmitry, to which, yeah, by the way, with what I'm actually seeing right about now in the news, I don't know if it's actually in poor taste for sure, but yeah, I mean, with what's been going on in Russia entirely, if you have been keeping up with the news right about now, so yeah, I don't know if it's actually in bad taste right about now, given to what's going on, but again, I digress, back onto the main subject, and of course, this Russian guy whose name is Dmitry, to which I don't know if it's actually an actual Russian guy, or of course a guy playing a Russian guy named Dmitry. Yeah, what ended up happening next is, of course, pretty much around that time, yeah, I think he actually posted a video where, of course, I'm not even kidding, he actually did attempt to, of course, dox he entirely, and for those who actually don't know, doxing is, of course, when you would actually, someone actually puts up private information out to the public for sure. So yeah, it was, of course, the hag bad, I will have to say, and of course, what ended up happening next is, of course, pretty much a few weeks afterwards, seeing of how the situation has, of course, grown tremendously for sure. They actually took to, of course, our pretty much our actual phone number for sure, and actually tried prank calling us entirely, to which, yeah, I have to say, it is actually really, really terrible when you really think about it for sure, and of course, pretty much around that time, I think, I know for sure, since the situation was actually so bad, I will admit, pretty much on one day, pretty much around the time, the prank calls were happening, I was, of course, pretty much depressing. I was even crying my, I was, of course, crying and, of course, bawling my eyes out, given to what's been going on for sure. And not to mention, I think my mom around that time has took into, of course, the guys prank calling us, and actually got super angry and screamed at them for what they're doing, and even doing some stuff yeah, pretty much that she would do, like, of course, reporting all this to the police for sure, to which, yeah, I'm also not kidding here right about how that said, pretty much that said call that my mom was involved with did also came out online around that time, and I too was, of course, absolutely appalled by, of course, this, and pretty much the guys that were, of course, conducting those prank calls thought it was funny, but to me, personally, it's not. It's really not right about in the house. So, yeah. And, of course, let's not forget to mention, I assume the same thing happened to Trayboy54 and his family around that time for sure. And again, I know for sure that it's saying a whole lot, but yeah, again, I don't really think it's actually that funny for sure. I just really think it's really heartbreaking, and of course I was very, very upset by, of course, what's been happened around that time. So, but yeah, again, I seem to be getting a little bit ahead of myself right about and how. So, but yeah, I think with a few bullet points that I've actually pulled off right about now. So yeah, I think with, of course, everything that's been going on for sure, and let's not forget to mention the stuff I said at the beginning. It has been an ongoing trend around the past few weeks, around July, around that year that I mentioned. So yeah, and let's not forget to mention pretty much. I think I should also mention around that time of course, the pretty much, if anything, another thing that has, of course, been happening for sure is, of course, they've actually took it to, of course, a chat log that's, of course, put up on Pace Ping around that said time, which I'm not even kidding. Looking over in my notes right about now, it, of course, discussed pretty much delved into, of course, what I assume to be me and Trayboy54 doing some stuff, of course, pretty much revolving around his adventures of Phineas and Ferb around that said time for sure. Yeah, but it actually has pretty much involves, of course, John dressed as Phineas and me dressed as Isabella, to which, yeah, keep in mind, pretty much around, this is actually right before, of course, what I've got currently going on with, of course, one of my cosplays that I'm really proud of for the past year, which is, of course, Barbara from Genshin Impact. So yeah, keep in mind, this chat that is, of course, put onto Pastebang happened right before I've actually got Barbara from Genshin Impact going for sure. So yeah. That's one thing to keep in mind for sure, and yeah, I think with, of course, yeah, and that's another thing too. I think I assume the haters and trolls and everything, they've been keeping, they've been putting up some stuff saying that me and Trayboy54 are quote unquote gay, and just to make it abundantly clear right about now, yeah, I guess if anything, me and Trayboy54 are not gay for sure. We're just friends right about now, and of course another thing to keep in mind. This is, of course, also before I have, of course, pretty much me and of course, Cheyenne, aka Castamelody, officially became boyfriend and girlfriend around 2015. So again, that's one thing to keep in mind for sure. So yeah, I think it's currently unknown, of course, on what Trayboy54 actually did say about the chat log that has been put up on Pastebang for sure. But I do know for the fact that for me personally, I took it for the fact that me and John never had that conversation for sure, and I took it as this being absolutely fake for sure. And of course, if by any chance that conversation they said is real, then I do have a theory that maybe, just maybe, me and Trayboy54's Skype account might have gotten hacked around that time, and that said chat has actually occurred pretty much around that time, which did result in being put up onto a Pastebang sometime later. So yeah, that's actually one theory that I could think of for sure revolving around that said conversation. So, but I don't know, I could be wrong about how so. So yeah, anyways, going back on subject, pretty much back to what I said earlier about the prank calls entirely, I will have to say, upon seeing pretty much the prank calls getting online, I knew right away I was really devastated for sure, which led me to, of course, try my hand to, of course, staying off of YouTube pretty much for the whole week entirely, to which, yeah, I can tell I was very devastated on that, and even my parents, I have to say, were pretty much mad at me for, of course, having that happen for sure, which, To which, yeah, I'm also pretty mad around that time as well, and but I was more depressing. I was crying my eyes out around that said time for sure. So, yeah, and let's not forget to mention around the time my original channel was around, what I've decided to do is, of course, aside from, of course, staying off of YouTube for an entire week, I had to set all of my videos that I had up on my original channel around that time to private for, like, 3 weeks to about a whole month around that time, So, yeah, I guess if anything, it's actually gone pretty bad entirely for sure. So, and let's not forget to mention some of the mockery that's happened pretty much in between all of that, and of course around that time, of course I know. Yeah, I think pretty much for one thing that I should mention for sure is the pretty much a user that goes by the name of pretty much Sam Dudley, aka Saki Braintongue. He did originally have his own riffing series, series, which was the preschool guy, which all he did was, of course, riff British cartoons entirely, and there's even one point, of course, when he originally reviewed the, pretty much riffed the special Famous Fred around that said time. Pretty much right around close to the end, he did openly mock me for sure, slamming me for, of course, with for the fact that around that time I was, of course, doing my own riffing series called The Phineas Guy for sure, to which, yeah, I will have to say it definitely sounds like a ripoff of the preschool guy, which, yeah, looking back, it pretty much is for sure, and of course, right around afterwards, I was definitely appalled by, of course, what I've seen, and of course, another thing to keep in mind is that pretty much, well, he actually blocked me on YouTube right around the month, pretty much a month or two before this happened, and especially right around before this whole war occurred for sure, because I may have actually done something that might have offended him for sure. I can't recall in the top of my head for sure, but yeah, I guess if anything, him mocking me, of course, in his Famous Fred video that he did a decade ago, yeah, that was, of course, the final straw that broke the camel's back for, at least for him, entirely. So, what ended up happening next, I tried my best to rework the as, of course, tried to make it the Disney Channel geek, but ultimately, if you have seen one of my update videos back in 2016, I had no choice but to cancel it entirely because I couldn't bear with it anymore. And another one that I should mention is, of course, almost kind of similar to what Saki Braintongue did for sure, but only a couple of months later, is that the Hardcore Gig, yeah, pretty much another reviewer known as the Hardcore Gig did a review on, of course, I think that Maid Boy hentai some time ago. I've never actually seen it because I'm not really that into hentai for sure, and yeah, there's no doubt in my mind he actually did openly mock me in that said video for sure, and so yeah, almost kind of the similar approach for sure, but on a different scale ramping out, and of course, let's not forget to mention, he of course re-uploaded the Personal Army Trainboy 54 video that had John himself did originally upload onto his channel around pretty much right around before the mockery. Those two mockeries occurred for sure. Yeah, but needless to say, I think but what I mean by that is, of course, Trainboy54 did a little video asking people to, of course, defend me and him for sure, and that was, of course, edited a little bit to, of course, pretty much do the exact opposite of the of course, pretty much the trolls is side for sure. I couldn't recall, but yeah, I definitely know the Hardcore Kid actually did re-upload that said video that what I'm talking about, which yeah is entitled Personal Army Trainboy 54. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can gather about and how, and oh yeah, let's not forget to mention yeah, I think yeah, I think I was going somewhere with this, but I kind of lost track for sure. Oh yeah, let's not forget to mention. Yeah, I seem to be losing a track ramp now. Sorry about the hang. So yeah, sorry about all that. So let's go ahead and move on from all that. So yeah, and of course things actually pretty much around August for sure. Yeah, around mid-August for sure is the hang. Things actually did try to calm down in the wake of all this. Like, of course, pretty much, if anything, aside from, of course, getting myself off of YouTube, I did take the take that around the time around August 11th to the 12th of pretty much 10 years ago to, of course, attend the Greensburg Train and Toy Show in Edison, New Jersey, because around that time, one of my former collaborators on YouTube, which is, of course, Sorter Adventures, was premiering his new show, Dover Valley Railroad Stories, which I was involved in around that time for sure. So yeah, I guess it's actually what I could say for, of course, what has gone down, just to let things calm down for sure, and of course in the light, of course, the doxing thing that happened earlier, I did try changing my location of my pretty much for my channel to, of course, New York City, because, well, the reason why I've decided to do that is because I don't want anybody to, of course, pretty much know where I live actually for sure, because yeah, I'm one of those people who doesn't like giving out personal information online for sure, unless if anything for sure it's, yeah, I guess it's what I can say on that for sure. So yeah, I know for sure I never give out any of my personal information to, of course, anybody in particular, let alone put it up online for sure, but only when necessary, if it's between me and my friends for sure, whenever. But yeah, again, I digress right about now, so yeah, that's one thing that I should address for sure. So yeah, I guess with everything that's been going down for sure, that's pretty much the best that I can gather on about and how to, of course, all this, and yeah, but again, keep in mind, this is, of course, the best that I can actually give out for sure about how, and of course, if anything, yeah, I think what ended up happening next is, of course, after things calmed down for sure, I decided to let things carry on for sure, and let life go on as normal. That isn't until right around January 18th, 2013 for sure, where, of course, if you don't know what's going on for sure, in case you're all new to this channel, is that pretty much looking back on my notes, my original channel did, of course, get terminated because I violated their terms of service around that time for sure, to which, yeah, if anything, all the hard work and all of my original videos that I put up on my original channel, everything, those are all gone right now, and at first I did thought I was locked out by accident, and I couldn't get myself backed in for sure, but when I actually look at it when typing up the URL to my channel, I did discover that my original channel was indeed terminated for sure, because I violated their terms of service, and I'll admit, I was devastated. I was very devastated when that happened for sure, and I did try everything to, of course, get it back, but it ultimately failed for sure. So, of course, given to what happened for sure, and given to what I've been putting out on my channel currently for sure, to which after all this, because of what's happened, I decided to reboot my YouTube channel entirely, and decided to go for pretty much a new username, which is of course the new AA4427, to which, yeah, I guess it's what I can say on that, and And of course, it's almost kind of similar to how pretty much back in 2011, TroyBoy54's original channel did get terminated due to copyright, and he did try to reboot his channel under his original user name for his second channel, the new TroyBoy54's home. So yeah, almost kind of similar to, of course, on that, but on a different matter in my end for sure. So. And of course, pretty much since then, I've been keeping up with, of course, my pretty much this channel for quite some time now, and I've been doing fine since then. And was I devastated? Was I in fact devastated that my original channel got terminated? Absolutely, for sure. But yeah. But yeah, I guess if anything, afterwards, pretty much the whole aftermath, all this is, of course, pretty much my original channel got terminated, and of course I had to pretty much start over from scratch with, of course, this new channel, which did take me a long while since after I posted my first video on, of course, this channel that I'm currently using right about now, but hey, since then, I knew for sure I need to get myself back into the midst of all things, just to ease myself in for sure. And not to mention around that said time, I know for sure the SamAttack4427TheThomasFan1 Productions channel, to which, yeah, around that time I've been keeping focus on the hang for sure. And that original channel that I mentioned did, of course, get terminated, except it's for copyright, not violating their terms of service. So again, I had to start over from scratch, and since then, it's also been doing fine for sure, and yeah, been keeping up with it for the past year for sure, since after I relaunched pretty much the two-member channel for sure. So and again, wouldn't be until over a year later where, of course, I found my stride and got myself back into, of course, posting videos onto, of course, this channel currently, which I will have to say is, of course, my current main channel for sure. So yeah, I guess aside from all of that, my original channel getting terminated, I was devastated by that, and I knew right away that is the one consequence that I faced in the light of this whole thing that's happening for sure. So yeah, I guess if anything, that's pretty much the best that I can gather right about how to, of course, what's been going on around that said time for sure. And I guess the only question now is, did I feel bad for, of course, what I did? And if so, did I absolutely regret it? Well, I guess to answer that question, I will have to say, yes, I did feel bad for, of course, what happened. And yes, indeed, it is entirely my fault for sure, because yeah, I knew right away that I should have actually handled this in a more mature side of things for sure. And I'll admit, what has actually happened around that said time, I will admit, it was entirely my fault, and I was wrong for what I did for sure. And yeah, that's one thing I am pretty much coming clean on for sure. I will admit, I was wrong, and what has happened around that time, it was entirely my fault around that said time. And yeah, I should have handled this in a much more mature side of things for sure. And yeah, I do feel bad for, of course, not doing so for sure. And again, I wish I would have for sure. So now I guess the only question remains if I would have gone back in time and, of course, got Universe Twister's message asking me for, of course, TroyBoy54's Skype ID, would I've actually respond to this in a much more mature side of things? Actually, yeah, I would. Maybe I think if I would have, maybe instead of saying to him, I'm not going to tell you you smacked up YouTube failure, yeah, that maybe instead if I would have replied to his message saying that, yeah, I'm sorry, I do appreciate you reaching out to me on this, but unfortunately, I cannot give out Trayboy54's Skype ID to you right about now. Do you suppose you can ask someone else for of course, exactly the hag? But yeah, maybe something like that for sure. So yeah, if I would have said that to Universe Twisters around that time, maybe I think this whole thing would have ended differently for sure, and I would have let life carry on as normal for sure. But instead, I overreacted. I didn't know what I was doing. I couldn't take criticism for sure, and then that's another thing too. There was even one instance where, of course, I did report this to my local police for sure, but I guess it's quite obvious that since these haters and trolls are, of course, sometimes overseas and they have different IP addresses and, of course, different user names for sure, they said that there's nothing they can do about it for sure, and I guess if anything else, since they said that they were, of course, criticizing me, I should definitely start taking the criticism, and you know what? They're right, and yeah, I guess it's quite clear that I have grown a whole lot after this whole thing happened for sure, and yeah, since I knew around that time I couldn't take criticism about now, yeah, pretty much around that time this happened, I will admit, nowadays, I do take criticism for sure, and I think that's actually a good thing for, of course, me taking criticism for sure. Like, of course, it's actually a good way to, of course, for me to say, okay, what can I do better just to win people over for sure, instead of telling them you don't know what you're talking about, or telling myself, oh, I suck. No, I say taking criticism is actually a good thing for sure, and yeah, I'm glad I've matured enough to a point where I can take criticism for sure, and yeah, I guess it's what I can say on that. So yeah, I guess it's what I could say on that, and of course to the good number of people that I've actually mentioned in this video over here, but now that I have mentioned to all of you, if any of you guys are watching this right but now, I will say this. I am very sorry about my actions for sure. I will say, yeah, I will admit, what I did was wrong. What I did was really, really wrong, and it's all entirely my fault, and I do take full responsibility for what I've done for sure, and yeah, out of all the things that I've regret in my entire life, especially making videos on YouTube, this is without a doubt the one that I seriously regret the most right about now. So yeah, again, I do indeed apologize for what's happened, and whatever happened was, again, my fault, and I take full responsibility for what I did for sure. So yeah. That's what I can say on Hag for sure. So yeah. I guess since after all that, that's pretty much what I can say on that. And for all of you guys that have watched through this video entirely, watching through my perspective on, of course, all things, I will say thank you so much. And of course, take it for what it is. What I'm saying right now is, of course, what I can gather in my perspective, hands down. I haven't gotten into, of course, every single detail on, of course, what's happened around that time, because I don't want to make it too long for sure. But yeah, I guess if anything, that's what I can gather in my end. And of course, let's not forget, if you are watching this right now and you want to blast the people that I am mentioning for, of course, bullying me and Trayboy54, no, I don't want that at all. Please, seriously, do not bully the people that I actually mentioned that, of course, were involved in this situation. But what I am suggesting instead is that I say definitely take a look at this situation from both sides for sure. Yeah, I know for sure the people I've mentioned for sure, they actually have their own views of course, what happened for sure. So again, give it to what I've said in this video. Again, take it from both sides for sure, and decide for yourself for sure. so yeah, that's all I'm asking for right about now, and I do hope this video will, of course, give out everything that I can to, of course, what's been going on. So yeah, I guess it's all what I can say on that. So yeah, I guess if anything, I'll definitely end this video right here. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and of course, as always, leave me any comments, and of course, criticisms and stuff and advice in the comment section below, as usual, like I doing all of my videos, and of course, feel free to send me an email if you want to ask me questions, or if you want to book me to a Conquer event coming up very soon. And of course, follow me on my social media sites like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and other social media sites. If you want to keep up to date with me, with of course the links down in the description box below. And of course, support me on Patreon if you want to show your support for me and get some awesome rewards. And of course, subscribe and turn on the notification bell if you want to see more videos like this coming up very, very soon. So yeah, I guess it's what I can say on that. So yeah, I guess on that thought, I think I'll definitely end this video right here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and yeah, definitely be on the lookout for the next video right now, because to liven things up right now, yeah, pretty much if anything, I do have plans to, of course, go see Thor: Love and Thunder, which is Ariel right about now. So I'll definitely let you guys know once when I put out an official thoughts video on the said film coming up very, very soon. So yeah, definitely be on the lookout for that. Just to yeah, probably is a good way to liven things up right about now. So yeah, like I said, I definitely need to get this video out for sure, just in case a lot of you guys may not know. And again, this is probably the best that I can gather in my perspective for sure. Do not harass anybody that I've mentioned in this video for sure, just to be abundantly clear. And again, to the people that I've mentioned that are watching this video, again, I do indeed apologize. It's entirely my fault, and I take full responsibility for what I did. So yeah, I guess on that thought, I'll definitely end this video right here. And so yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and like I said, I promise in the next video, it will be a whole lot more cheerful and happy, seeing how this is a little bit more depressing for me for sure. So yeah, that's my big promise to all of you right now. So yeah, definitely be on the lookout for that. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Take care.